2020 was full of hardship and loss for so many, a lot of which we reported on. But here's proof that, there was a lot of good that also happened this year. And thanks in part to many of you watching at home right now. Sina Gebriab has a roundup of WCPO 9 News' most impactful stories of 2020.
A desperate plea hard for many of us to shake.
My baby is due literally on the 18th. I'm sleeping in a parking garage. I'm dirty. This isn't right.
After John Matarese introduced us to Sabrina Timmerding, viewers raised more than $600, secured an apartment for Sabrina and her baby, and Jobs and Family Services started sending her benefits again. But the pandemic continued to devastate the most deprived in our community, including Michelle Ronan and her boyfriend of 10 years, Tony Kuntzman. They're homeless and he's battling stage 4 cancer.
If something happens to him, I won't have no one. And I know I wouldn't make it.
Maslow's Army paid for the couple to stay in a hotel for a couple of nights, but a viewer watching Lucy May's story on the couple paid to extend their stay. Winton Woods graduate Michaela Adams was on her way to Morehead State University on a bowling scholarship when she received a racist email from a team coach.
Shocked, very disgusted, wait, am I really reading this?
I started shaking.
Mom got no response when she reached out to Morehead, but Kristen Swilley did. And shortly after, Morehead announced the coach was banned from volunteering with the team. And up until this summer, Finley Park had been closed for 2 years. After Monique John highlighted the lack of outdoor space this created amidst the pandemic, the city of Cincinnati reopened it. And hers wasn't the only story to catch City Council's eye.
The story that you all ran on Monica, it was one that just said, look, we have got to work harder and quicker.
He's talking about Monica Barnes, pregnant for the first time and facing eviction because of a delayed stimulus check. Lisa Smith showed us Monica was one of many pregnant moms in this position. So the city streamlined access to financial aid for those facing eviction through the United Way. Courtney Francisco caught the attention of Hamilton County leaders with this alarming report on a common pleas court judge.
It's just common sense. They speak Spanish. They're charged with carrying a lot of drugs, and they're not from here. It's pretty clear they're an illegal immigrant.
Prompting the clerk of courts to form a task force with local judges and attorneys to address immigrant rights in courts. And at the state level, our I-Team filed a complaint in court after Ohio's Department of Health refused to name which nursing homes have had COVID-19 deaths, citing state privacy laws.
This is the silent aspect of the pandemic.
Court filings have already revealed that the Department of Health doesn't even keep track of who died in which facility. Though reporters usually uncover stories, sometimes they share their own. After viewers heard Tom Brenneman use a gay slur on air, Evan Millward channeled his emotions into an editorial, starting a critical conversation about identity and inclusion, much like Whitney Miller's call to normalize braids, curls, and natural textures in the workplace, especially on air.
If I have to ask to wear my hair the way it grows out of my head, well, then I can't be myself when I want to be.
Allowing so many women of color to feel seen and heard.
That was Sina Gebriab reporting there. If you'd like to see the full version of any of those stories mentioned, you can always find them over on WCPO.com.